I'm Byrne, I'm the Shadow Minister for Universities, Skills and Science. No, it's not. University's too expensive and it's putting too many people off being the best they can be. So one of the things we think should happen in the future is universities should cut their fees down through to £6,000 a year, and we think we should ask the richer citizens in Britain to make good the funding gap so that universities aren't shortchanged. That's a great question. And so basically, as a country, we just think that Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland should be able to take their own decisions about their spending priorities. But here in England, we do think that university is just too expensive. I know lots of my constituents in Birmingham think the cost is just way too high. I'd love to be able to scrap tuition fees, but I think what we learnt from the promise that Nick Clegg made before the last election is that we cannot and will not make promises that we can't keep. So we're not going to do a Nick Clegg, we're going to only promise what we can deliver, and we know that we can deliver a cut in fees from 9,000 to 6,000, and we can put up maintenance grants, and we can fully fund it by asking Britain's richer citizens to lose a bit of the tax break that they get on their contributions to their pension. I'm afraid there isn't much we can do about that in the future. We can't just rebate those students that are graduating already this year. But what we can do for students who are in their first year today is make sure that they're amongst the first people to get the fees cut from September 2016. Well, one of the things we've got to do for students who've got additional needs, but also disabled students, is make sure that there aren't any changes that put those students at an even bigger disadvantage. So the government's got this one idea of abolishing disabled students' allowance. I don't think there should be any changes to DSA, as it's called, unless we can prove there's something even better to go in its place. So I think it was gold. My middle son thinks it was blue. I think it's gold. It's a very old tradition, I'm afraid, that outgoing Treasury Ministers leave. It was unwise in retrospect because my predecessor broke that old tradition and made it public. He then went on to help borrow more in 5 years than the Labour government did in 13 years. So at this next election, this government has got to do a lot of explaining about how they've managed to rack up national debt to £1.4 trillion by putting the recovery in the slow lane.